prerequisite to being a good hurdler is to have speed. However, there is a skill involved in hurdling, and not all sprinters can be hurdlers. Balance, rhythm, flexibility, agility, coordination, strength, speed, these are all essentials in the making of a good hurdler. To show you our program at Oregon, John Gillespie.
The High Hurdles event is a 110-meter sprint with 10 barriers in the way. Most high hurdlers take 8 steps to the first hurdle, and then a series of 4 steps, with 3 being similar sprint steps, and the 4th a longer stride over the hurdle. The women's 100-meter hurdles is also a sprint race with 10 barriers in the way. But because the barriers are not as high, females need to make fewer adjustments to their stride as they go over the hurdles. The goal of the hurdle start is to get to the first hurdle as fast as possible, but in position to continue to accelerate and establish a fast rhythm for the rest of the race. The fingers are arched with the thumb and forefinger next to the starting line, so the shoulders are as high as possible. Shoulders should be above the hands or slightly forward. Hips are higher than the shoulders, and the head should be in line with the body. At the gun, concentrate on driving from the blocks, not just concentrating on the sound of the gun. You want to push with both feet. Then, rear knee drive is important for position, creating equal and opposite reaction with the power leg. A sprinter would try to drive out staying relatively low. However, hurdlers need to be tall before the first hurdle, so the hurdler must be gradually coming up on each stride. Normally, we take 8 strides to the first hurdle, trying to be upright around the 5th stride. These strides should be consistent, but gradually lengthening until the last stride, which is slightly shorter. Note the first stride must be over the starting line, but not so long that it is a blocking action. Note there is a slight difference in hurdle technique between the short or higher hurdles and the longer or intermediate hurdles. First, the higher the hurdles relative to the center of mass of the hurdler means the hurdler should buck or lean the shoulders forward from the waist for a more efficient clearance. In the short hurdles, we want to get down on the other side of the hurdle so we can start sprinting again. However, in the long hurdles, our stride is important, so we can float more over the hurdle, which means there is less ground to cover with the strides. The hurdle takeoff is about 7 feet 6 inches from the hurdle. The lead leg should be bent with the knee up, way up, which makes it faster and allows for a takeoff closer to the hurdle. The arms should vary as little as possible from correct sprinting form. Keeping the shoulders square is the most important arm and upper body action. It doesn't matter where the arms are if the shoulders remain square. The elbows are up at the attack, so the shoulders shrug up. The lead leg should be bent with the knee way up. We should drive or push the hips into the hurdle. You should stay on the balls of the feet the entire time. Not only is this good sprinting form, but we also want to be tall. During the flight, keep the arms perpendicular to the shoulders. Do not reach across and touch the lead foot. Your goal is to have the lead knee touching the chest, called bucking. Although all high hurdlers buck, not all can or do buck as much as others. Note this hurdler does not buck very much. Then your decision is whether to get your head low, which will cause your center of mass to be lower, or to keep your head up and focus on the next hurdle. Keep the trail foot behind the knee with the toe up. The lead leg should be slightly bent. When landing, bring the trail leg under the armpit and all the way through, with the heel tight to the butt with the toe up. When the arms switch positions, the thumb rotates up as you bring the lead arm back. You should not have to collapse on landing. And of course, in the intermediate hurdles, we don't want to snap that leg down right away. We want to float more. The running between the hurdles are 3 sprint steps. Although most of the time is spent practicing hurdling technique, these 3 steps must be sprinted. Try to remain